Hi everybody, it's Gean from BonnieGean.com. Welcome back to today's video. Today's video number 8 of our video blogging challenge. And today I'd like to give you a piece of homework to do. I want you to create your next video and explain to me why you felt it was necessary that you should come online and start an online business. So make it a very short video if you can, like 1 to 2 minutes, no longer than 2 minutes long, and sit down in a nice quiet, comfortable room and chair and tell me exactly what it is that you had in mind when you started your internet business. And that'll be your homework for today. Now, my video today is going to show you how to create a very easy and quick flower inside of PowerPoint so that you can add these flowers to your social media images that you share on Facebook. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing you need to do is set up your PowerPoint canvas. Go to Design, Page Setup, and set each one of these up for 5.333 height and width, and then say OK. Once you have that done, then we're going to go over here to the Insert, and we're going to insert some shapes. Let's insert all the shapes that we're going to use at once. So the first shape we're going to use is a teardrop for the flower petal. Hold your Shift key on the keyboard and drag. Go back up to Shape, pick this moon, draw that. Go back up, pick a circle, and last but not least, the curved line. The curved line is going to be our stem, so let's click, drag, click, and then we'll see our stem bend, and then double click to end it. So let's mosey on in here a little bit closer so we can see what we're doing. The first thing we want to do is change the colors for each of these pieces. So I will go down here and we'll right click and do a format shape, and the line style is going to be a 4, and the line color is going to be a lime green. And that quickly, that one is done. So we're going to move that out of the way, pull down our leaf, we're going to right click this, and we're going to go into the fill as a pattern fill, and bottom is going to be black. Top is going to be lime green. And I'm going to choose this bottom one here. And then my line color is also going to be that lime green. We'll make changes to that once we get to the shadowing area. Then the next thing I want to pull down is my circle. My circle is going to be inside the flower petals, so that I want to right click on that, and I'm going to change a pattern fill to black background and a yellow foreground. I'm going to choose this pattern, go to line color, and I'm going to make it a dark red, and I'm going to change the style again to a 4. And then last but not least, we'll move that out of the way, and here is our flower petal. Now let's right click this and copy, and then hit Control V as in Victor on our keyboard, and then go up to Format and choose Rotate and flip that horizontally and move it right next to that one. Then we're going to highlight both. We're going to group, and we're going to right click to copy, Control V on our keyboard again, put them up top, go to Rotate, and we're going to flip them vertically. Now we're going to move these so that I can line them up as best I can with this line here. And I'm going to ungroup these now so I can move them individually. There we go. Okay. Now let's back out here a little bit with the minus sign at the bottom of the screen. Now what I want to do, since these are all grouped together, is I want to rotate this so that these points are all pointing towards the center, but I want the flower petals up and down. And that looks pretty good to me, so I'm going to leave it that way. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to ungroup them again. I'm going to put a light source coming from this side, which means it has to be lighter on this edge, than on these edges. So we're going to use the shadow to do that. But before we do that, let's change the color of our flower petals. So highlight all of them, right click, do a format, go into fill, pick the light red, and then go to line color, pick the dark red, and it'll change all of them at one time. Then let's go down here to shadow. Okay, so this one is okay. This one here is incorrect. The darkness will be on this side, so let's change that. And this one here is going to be more on the outside, so this one's wrong. And the light is here, and the light's there. So this is good for me. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to highlight all of them. Go up to Format and group them once more. I'm going to take my center now, put that in the middle. And I'm going to right click and bring it to the front. And I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger. I have to uncheck. Make sure you only have that flower center, highlight it, and not the entire piece. And then center that, click both of them and do an align center, and then we'll make sure that's aligned. Okay, so now I still have to put a darker outer edge shadow on here, so right click on that piece, pick the shadow. There we go. No, that's correct. And let's do the same thing for our leaf. We're going to do a shadow for that as well. Okay, now let's back out of here by using the minus sign. And let's move our flower up to the top of the page so we can work with our leaves. And I'm going to take this flower and I'm going to group it to the center, and then I'm going to resize it just a tad. Now this leaf, we want to fall on this line as well. So I'm going to use the rotation mark on the top of this piece, and I'm going to rotate it so it falls within that line. Then I'm going to right click and copy this, Control V on your keyboard, paste it, and I want this one to flow the other way. So let's go to Format and do a rotate, flip horizontally. And then once we have that one down here, take this one, and I'm going to rotate it back a little bit. And take this one, rotate it back a little bit. It's not rocket science. You don't have to make it perfect. I just want to be able to cover this stem with that one. Now the light source is coming from this way, so this is incorrect. So we have to right click on that and change our shadow direction so that the shadow is on the other side. There we go. And let's see if we can move that down just a little bit more. There we go. And this is perfect. So I'm going to highlight both of these, close this, and I'm going to group these together. Then I'm going to take my stem here and I want to put it on top of those, and then right click and tell it to send it to the back. Now it's time to move this into place with my flower. You can either hide the stem, right click this and bring the flower to the front. You can either hide the stem behind a petal, or you can put it in between the petals. Really, the decision is yours. It's your flower. If the flower is too big, make it smaller. If you want the flower even bigger, you can do that too. But I think smaller, you know. And I think the leaves are a little bit too big for this flower, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to ungroup. And I'm going to make the leaves a little bit smaller. And hide that stem. I'm going to make my flower a little bit bigger. I didn't like how my stem was. So I'm going to make the stem a little bit smaller. And I'm actually going to flip it so it's going the other way because it's being really ornery. And I'm going to turn it just a tad. I want it more or less coming out of the center of the leaves if I can get it to do that. Is really what I want. There we go. Move this into place. Alrighty, now I'm going to highlight everything. Now we're finally at that part. Format it and hit group. Then I'm going to move this up a little bit. We're going to cast a shadow. Since the light source again is coming from this direction, I'm going to put the shadow so it's falling in front of the flower. So right click the grouped flower, choose shadow, and pick this one here. And that'll put your shadow in the front. And really, that's all there is to it. So you can use this flower as small as you want it or as large as you want it. And you can use it. In fact, it'd be very easy to come in here and change the colors as well. So you can make your leaves darker or lighter. You can make your flower petals blue, pink, purple, whatever you want. And you could actually take it off the stem and set it right on the leaves itself. There's so many things that you could do. Now, once you're done with this, you want to export this so you could use it or save it as a presentation. Just go up to File, Save As, PowerPoint Presentation. I'm going to call this 4-petal flower red, yes. And then I'm also going to go back up to Save It as a PNG file. I'm going to choose PNG from the drop down, and I'm going to save it. And when it comes up to current slide, yes. So, and that's it. And there you have it, using just a couple simple circles and a little bit of shadowing and some lines, you can create a really nifty flower to add to your social media images. Now look for our next video where we'll probably be talking about making something like clowns or something like that. So until the next video, you take care, be safe, have fun, and I'll see you soon.